To all of our viewers on Synergy TV, all of our viewers on Caribbean Showtime Television in Canada, all of our listeners on U975 FM Multicultural Radio, Facebook and YouTube, my dear friends, a very warm welcome to another edition of the program Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower and answer those unanswered questions. I am Zelisa Budusing Rupani, humbly inviting you to sit back, relax, enjoy, absorb. Most importantly, have your pen and paper nearby, your telephone, so you could take notes and you could store important numbers that will be very helpful for you and your loved ones. On our team this morning in Master Control, Nick Rupnarayan and Akua George, on behalf of our team, I'd like to wish each and every one of you a safe, productive and great day today. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday, the 27th of April, 2023. It is a day and time we will never have the opportunity to have again. So don't procrastinate, don't waste your time. Do something productive and constructive with your time. If you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday. If it's your anniversary, happy anniversary to you and yours, that someone special. Let's quickly go to our quote for today, coming to us with the kind compliments of Fab India Expo. And it says, never let your emotions overpower your intelligence. Never let your emotions overpower your intelligence. And that came to us with the kind compliments of Fab India Expo. Remember to check them out today for all of their deals, their food court. They've got wonderful specials for Mother's Day, so check them out. Items starting at, less than $100 and, lots of household items as well. And of course, their food court, not forgetting the play area for your children. So check them out, all right? Let's say a very good morning and a warm welcome, and I'll say by popular demand, because I got so many calls and requests to have this gentleman back on the program, and I also recognize the strength that he is. He is a force to be reckoned with, because he is the director at Crime Stoppers. Let's say good morning and a very warm welcome to Mr. Darrin Carmichael. Sir, it is indeed our blessing and privilege to have you again.
Good morning to your viewing and listening audience. It is a pleasure to be here, to be back here again. And I want to sincerely thank you. I've been seeing as promised, I've been seeing the Crime Stopper ads and so on. And, that is a blessing, because I think everybody knows the value of airtime. And you have contributed that, and we are eternally grateful for that.
You're more than welcome. I think we all have a duty and responsibility for our land or country. Yeah. Let's save Trinidad and Tobago when we can. If each one of us take that responsibility and that duty upon ourselves, not just to, we will have a safer, happy and healthier Trinidad and Tobago.
That's correct. Absolutely correct.
More so with what's happening, crime taking Trinidad and Tobago by storm. I also want to remind all of our viewers and our listeners that this gentleman here, when I say he's a force to be reckoned with, he is the recipient of one of the highest medals in this country, and that is because of your great work and the contribution towards the growth and development of safety in our land. And I really want to applaud you. So many people would have said to me that this man is really an amazing man. A lot of people who saw the show last week, calls, and they were really happy and quite elated, because they know you can help us. And I also know, not just with the years of experience, but with your wealth of knowledge, you can help save Trinidad and Tobago. If we have more like you.
A very strong word, save. I mean, I could give them the life raft, and really it's up to them to jump on board, because we talk about it all the time, and it is really up to people to kind of like come on board, and really that is where we are. We are trying to get as many people on board, as many people to think rationally and assess the situation they are in, And really that's where we are at present, you know.
You know, we are taught it's okay to feed a man, that's quite good, but if you teach him the tools, if you teach him the initiatives, if you teach him how to fish, he will have food for life. So it's about us, again, you could do so much in your part, but it's about all of us taking the initiative to apply what you teach us to our lives and our communities. Before we start, I'd just like to say this. Let us start a neighborhood watch. Who all residents in the watch group? And this is happening this evening, Thursday, 27th April at 7 p.m. at Hillview College Road in El Dorado. And let me share this because I think it's relevant and good information. The Tunapuna Police Station Community Council has been mandated by the Commissioner of Police to make recommendations for consideration and or action by the police to assist in the development of solutions to prevent illegal activity in the community, to assist the police in the creation of initiative to improve the quality of life in the community, and to ensure that the unique characteristics of the community are considered in the execution of the duties by the police. And I want to applaud the Commissioner of Police for taking the initiative to reach out now to the police stations and the police community, getting into communities to solve initiatives to help us.
From what I gather, of course, the crime fighting and the work the police is doing, they have several pillars by which they hope to accomplish this. And I think number one on the strategic list of pillars is that of community engagement.
Yeah.
You know, it is good that the police, as the enforcement body, recognizes the value of the community, the value of each and every homeowner, each and every resident, each and every business owner in the fight against crime. You know, it is really, really mostly power lies, and it's good that they are, you know, I've seen it fit to embrace that.
Great.
These meetings are for this month only, I've attended somewhere around 6 police town meetings.
Brilliant.
And I would have missed probably another 6 or so.
Yeah.
So they are really getting out there. They're really reaching. Up to last night, there was one for the St. James community. And as you would see tonight, you know, I myself will be in Warrenville tonight.
Right.
Doing the same thing. So I really couldn't attend the Tunapuna event.
Yeah.
I was already pre-booked. But I'm happy to see that, you know, communities across the land are really coming out. And, you know, there's something that I've think, you know, we have to empower ourselves.
Yeah.
We have to secure your home.
Yes.
And of course, you have to protect the community.
Correct.
Empower ourselves, secure the home, protect the community. And it resonates with us because we realize that the police resources, the police ability to be there for us, it's an unrealistic expectation. All right?
Okay.
And, you know, we have to recognize more and more that we as we are part of the state machinery,
right?
And therefore our collaboration with the police, our ability to come on board and help and assist, is not us admitting that, you know, the police can't do it for us, but is us coming to the realization that the collaboration is necessary.
Why
right?
not
they cannot
partner?
Do it again.
You're correct. Why not partner with the authorities?
They cannot do it alone.
Look, I know that in terms of the police service, they're very limited. But I'm also aware with more and more interviews with your good self and others that the police service, they're really trying harder.
Yeah, they are.
They're really trying. They're limited as it is. And when I recognize that they involve in situations like this, where they have the meetings into the communities, where they have, for instance, Senior Superintendent Michael Pear firsthand what he's doing with the legal and the justice clinic, man with the legal minds. It's simply awesome and brilliant.
People don't see that as, I mean, that is us, that is the police saying, hey, we recognize that a lot of domestic land disputes and so on end up in violence, end up in bloodshed. And here it is, the police takes the initiative with the help of the legal minds and the lawyers who contribute the time to come on board and say, here's what, let us anticipate or preempt that potential violence and try to solve matters amicably. You know, and that's important, because that does a lot for the psyche of the persons.
It is.
And for really, you know, quelling that potential, you know, situation.
And what is also important for us to recognize is the fact that they walk the community prior. So they meet and greet all the citizens in the area, in that community. And then they also bring out the youth club. So it's when you think of it, it's really a win-win.
It is,
you know?
It's definitely.
So I want to say hats off to all the police officers for their hard work and commitment. I want to applaud them. I mean, they go beyond, some of them really have a passion, genuine passion for what they do, and they go beyond the call of duty. But I also want to recognize that we are limited. They're very limited in what they do. So let us as citizens, when we have shows like this of substance, with people like your good self, sharing your wealth of knowledge and experience with us, we've got to apply
well,
it.
To your viewers, there's still time to wake up your husband, your wife, your children, if they're of age and still at home. Go to the links, you know, go on the Tigo app, wherever it is. The next few minutes of this program will be very instrumental to you. And I dare say, I mean, your fellow workers, whoever you could share this with, let them really come on board and listen in, because this session is about you. It is about us kind of like understanding where we are and how we can navigate the crime scenarios that would take place and so on. So I intend to raise a lot of issues today.
We do, and I want to open up the telephone line later on as well, allowing people to have that one-on-one conversation with you. But before we wrap up this segment, I would just like you quickly to just reintroduce the dynamics of Crime Stoppers for those who...
Certainly. Yeah. Well, Crime Stoppers is our anonymous hotline number is 800-TIPS. Crime Stoppers is a body that is, you know, it was brought into being to help with the fear and the apprehensions that one may have in reporting crime directly to the police.
Correct.
It was born 23 years ago, and since then, knock wood, we have not had the identity of any tipster. The identification also compromised. We take painstaking steps to ensure that no one calling into the program is ever identified, and it's really because we don't want any reprisals.
Correct.
In respect coming back to them. So you as somebody out there, if you witness a crime, if you know of a crime that has been committed or who done it, if you know where guns are, drugs, whatever it might be, stolen property, you have the opportunity in the safety of your own home to anonymously dial 800-TIPS, that is 800-8477. The call takers are standing by. They will ask you information surrounding the report that you're making and get as much information so they can then pass that on to the police. We are not the police. We are a private body, and we are simply charged with acting almost like a conduit to take the information that you have and share it with the police. Now bear in mind, you provide information. And when the police analyze and check and see the value of that information, the prohibitive value of the information, then and only then it becomes intelligence that the police could then act on, make raids, you know, implement subpoenas, whatever, search warrants, whatever it is. And the information that you provide, once it leads to an arrest or finding whatever it is, the drugs, the guns, the stolen property, then you are entitled to a reward. All right? And what we will do at that point, we'll tell you in the phone call that call us back in 21 days. And that's simply because we do not know who you are. Right? We have no way of reaching you. So your call to us in 21 days, and the idea is sometimes it's less. People would see the police act and so on and call us back probably within 24 hours. Yeah. Right? But nonetheless, you're able to understand that once you call us back, we will then tell you that the tip was successful or not. And if it was successful, you're entitled to a reward. And we will give you the reward amount, and we will tell you at that point that you can go into any branch of Scotiabank. Ask for the operations manager. Simply give them the tip number that we provided you with, and you will get in exchange an envelope with cash. There is no receipt required. We do not need to know who you are, even at that stage, and that completes the process.
And I think they deserve it. And the reason I'm saying that is because you're saving a life, you're saving families. You know, your prevention is better than cure.
Definitely.
And I always say, if you are aware of something that's negative or something that is wrong or anything affiliated with crime, you're aware of it, you know about it, and you don't speak up and speak against it or get help, then you are part of it as well.
That's correct.
That's my perspective.
You know, I mean, hats off to, like I keep saying every time I get the opportunity, really hats off to the thousands upon thousands of persons who would have seen it fit to call in the tips. And come forward. I mean, you have provided a debt of gratitude. We owe you a debt of gratitude.
Yes, certainly.
In that your tips have been successful in solving numerous crimes, in putting numerous persons behind bars. And it sort of goes unheralded, because even when you see the police sometimes say, we found this and we found that, and they say it in a technical way, we thank the public for, you know, coming forward and so on.
Nice.
Not always they will say it was a Crime Stopper tip,
okay,
or so on. But it is them in their own subtle way recognizing the value of that intelligence or that information.
With that being said, let's go to our first break. Let's go to these important messages. When we return, we continue our conversation with Mr. Darrin Carmichael, Director at Crime Stoppers. Stay with us.
Farbinger Expo has great deals to offer for the month of April. Get showers starting from $100, curtains 4 for $100, bed sheets 2 for $100, footwear from $75. Look elegant with our one-of-a-kind in-house designer garments. Spend $1,500 and over to get tickets to Bollywood singer Abhijit live in concert on May 6th. Just in time for Eid, new containers just arrived. Check us out for the latest Islamic wear. Need to pick up lunch or dinner? Then check us at the Farbinger Food Court from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Final few booths left at the Mid-Center Mall Mid-Year Flea Market. Call 340-6565 starting the 6th of May until the 30th of May. Call now to book your spot. 340-6565.
Super quality supermarket, best quality and great prices. Get your fresh fruits, vegetables and meats. It's a one-stop shop for the most affordable groceries, baby items, kitchen supplies, bathroom accessories, car care supplies, pet food, toys and lots more, all at Super Quality Supermarket. Wide aisles, fully air-conditioned and secured parking. 3 locations nationwide: Hoover Car Park, Hoover, 98 Endeavour Road, Chaguanas, and 47 Tissue Drive, Trincity. Super Quality Supermarket.
Hello, Crime Stoppers?
This is Crime Stoppers. Please share only your crime information.
I want to report a crime, but I need to make sure it will not be traced back to me.
Caller, I assure you, there's no record of this call other than the information you give us and the tip number I assign you for you to call back and check on your reward. This system has worked in 26 countries for more than 40 years.
Help stop crime. Call Crime Stoppers at 800-TIPS today. Calls are safe and 100% anonymous.
Welcome to OATS, Optimal Alternative Treatment Solutions Limited, the future of healthcare, which provides full body scans which we detect and treat cancer, tumors, all heart conditions, cysts, fibroids, dementia, Parkinson's, just to name a few. No radiation and medication is not needed. If you are tired of getting no results, call us at 354-4459 or 356-7226.
The Gandhi Memorial APS Vedic School presents Grand Bazaar, April 30th, 2023 from 12 noon to 6 p.m. Located in Aranguez Main Road. Come join us and have some fun. Lots of giveaways, games, cakes, candies, food stalls, haunted house, face painting, and much, much more. Come on down, bring the family. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back to the program Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower and answer those unanswered questions. I am in conversation today with Mr. Darrin Carmichael of Crime Stoppers. He's the director And today he's talking to us about a basic introduction to crime prevention, because we are going to start a series with him. So we will continue every week our topic crime as we continue to share tips and information so we can have a safer Trinidad and Tobago, reminding you of the importance of Crime Stoppers. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
So we're going to get into the information and topic today with regards to preventative measures, yeah?
Yeah. Right. So one of the things we need to recognize is that what we're seeing today, and we really want to start with what is the top of mind issues, what are the serious issues that are taking place. And without getting into actual numbers in terms of incidents and the number of incidents, we can safely say that from the reports, from what I'm seeing in my WhatsApp chat groups and so, there's a high prevalence of robberies.
Yeah.
The home invasion robbery is one. The robberies of persons who are transporting cash, persons who are leaving their homes and are being targeted in terms of either carjacking, actually taking the vehicle, or robbing them whilst in the vehicle. As we have seen, there was an incident by McDonald's where somebody was simply in the car park, and they were accosted and you know, robbed and so on, a whole family.
Now we are seeing in the news what's being highlighted would be the murders and the barbaric way of killings and things like that that's happening, and yes, home invasions. But like you say, a lot of other crimes are happening that are really growing by leaps and bounds. And that's why, and like you say, a simple thing as robberies and home invasions and you know, money going to the bank, things like that. I am even told that sometimes the shoes that your children wear in school,
phones,
they're taking away the shoes and phones and books and things like that. You're very correct.
And so.
Yes.
So you see, the whole idea is that we are I don't want to use the word blindsided, because I mean every murder is of concern.
Yes.
But we as citizens, we as residents need to be more concerned, and I think, about those serious crimes.
Yes.
Because the serious crimes tend to hit more in our area than the murders sometimes do.
Right.
All right. And therefore, I want to take our minds directly to the prevalence of serious crimes and some of the things that we can do in our own little world.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, even before the encounter occurs, God forbid it does, we need to look at what can we do to prevent.
Right.
All right, and that's the space I'm operating in most times, simply because I feel that we can do a lot more than we're doing now. Persons can take a lot more proactive steps. You know, in my world, in terms of risk management and so, it is about designing concentric circles of protection before the person can get into your home.
Right.
There are layers of security, layers of things you can do, all in an effort to retard, slow down, and defeat.
Correct.
And outright defeat the criminal.
Great.
All right, so I am there in terms of where people ought to be thinking, and I really want people to get away from sitting down and believing that is the job of the police. Right? You know, so there are so many things that we can do.
Yeah.
And this is what we want to get into today.
You're very correct, because very often they want to blame the government. They want to blame the Prime Minister. They want to they put the blame game on everything, but we have a responsibility as well.
Taxpaying citizens have a right to demand certain things.
Correct.
I agree.
Correct. And we want
under
a safer.
Under the reality of things, we have to understand that we also have and I'm saying that ours is more of a preventive role. And so some of the things we do initially is one is we can look at your home first and foremost.
Okay.
All right. Look at that home, and like I say, if you think of concentric circles of protection, think of the perimeter wall.
Right.
As the first defense. And you ask yourself, okay, what type of wall, what type of design, what type of construct it may be made of.
Okay.
And you know, some people feel that the high 7-foot walls and barbed wire and so on is the best way out. And you know, there's something called CEPTED, Crime Prevention Through Environmental Design. That's a whole program by itself.
Yeah.
All right. But really, what CEPTED is about designing crime out of the built environment.
Okay.
And that simply means by the design we put into our spaces, we either encourage crime or discourage crime.
Okay.
We encourage a certain kind of behavior or we
Right.
discourage it.
Right.
All right? So let's look at your fencing as a particular. Like I said, the high solid walls and barbed wire, what that really does, it prevents your neighbor to the left and the right of you and across the road from seeing into your premises.
Point taken.
It prevents people driving by from looking into your premises. It prevents people from walking, jogging, from seeing anything going on. And the reality is somebody may be
Great
in
point.
there ravaging your entire home,
Yeah.
stealing everything you own, and nobody can see or observe.
Great.
So SEPTED and that concept speaks to natural surveillance, right? And how we can use that ability of your neighbors and your people passing to naturally look through an eye to see what is happening
Yeah,
around.
point
And that is
taken.
important because people have been known to break in homes and pack everything into vehicles, and the only time you will see them inside of those high walls and barbed wire is when they drive out with all this
Yeah.
stuff, right? So observation is key.
Great.
Kind of think of it like this. I mean, when you look at your kitchen, for instance, most people's kitchens are designed where they can see to the front gate, to the garage gate, to the roadway. Because you spend at least 3 or 4 times a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and so on, at that kitchen window, looking out. So you as well naturally survey, and some people say Mako, right? But that's a good word in our business.
It's a
all right?
yeah.
So you could naturally look out and observe your neighbor and so on, your gallery, your patios. They look out and they observe and so on, the balconies, right? So that is one thing that we would want to look at. That wall and that perimeter, I am
Great.
saying that it doesn't need to be 7 foot tall. A simple low wall
Nice.
with some metal work or something and so on, where people
Right.
could observe and be
Good.
seen.
Great.
It says to the criminal that these are your boundaries, and that's good enough.
Right.
Right? As opposed to probably no fencing at all, a broken down fencing, or even fencing, but your gate is always open to facilitate people driving in and out.
Right.
All right? So that's the first layer.
Good.
And then you can move into other layers such as your doors, your locks, your windows,
Camera
and how you
system.
construct those things.
I
Correct.
think a camera system
And camera
is very
systems are
affordable
necessary.
now.
Not
and
everyone could afford the big, elaborate systems,
Yeah.
but there are enough IP cameras there that are standalone, that are sometimes
Yeah.
wireless, and so
And
on.
it's
that
quite
you can-
affordable.
Exactly, and most of them come back to your mobile device, where you can at least connect it to your mobile
And
device.
have access.
And you have that kind of daily surveillance you could place on it as well.
Great.
All right, so those things are there for you to
Good.
utilize.
Excellent.
Right?
So, yes, please.
Right? And okay, so outside of the that aspect of it, you can also look at your security or your self-awareness,
Yeah.
right? And while okay, so that's your home. Now we want you to focus on your situational awareness, and it's a big word.
You said
But-
something
yeah.
last week, and I think it's extremely important.
Yes.
And I kept talking about it on radio after, reminding people, and that is keeping your area, your surroundings in terms of big shrubs and trees and
Trim
things
them,
like
yeah,
that.
that's right.
And I think that was
Yeah.
so important to share, because very often we don't think that that could be a big problem.
It is. It's like anything else. When your kids play hide and seek, right? They find places to hide and seek with
Yeah.
themselves. The bandits play hide and seek as well. So they literally find places around your home to secrete themselves so that they can do that element of surprise. Because at the end of the day, once the bandit has the upper hand on you, that element of surprise, they win every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
All right. So whether you're a firearm person, if you're equipped and so on, the surprise attack is always still, concerning. And therefore that plays an important part. So that speaks literally to the next main subject, which is situational awareness.
Right.
All right, we are blessed with our 5 senses. In fact, we have a 6th sense, which is our gut and our intuition. And we seldom ever use that 6th sense.
Yes.
But that one has never led us wrong, and we must always follow the 6th sense as well.
Especially when you have a discerning spirit.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Right? So we must listen, observe, and we're blessed with some senses. So let's say you have 2 eyes, and that would allow us to see twice as much. Yeah? We have 2
Right.
ears, so we need to listen twice as much.
Yes.
We're blessed with 1 mouth. So that simply means look and observe more, listen more, and probably speak less. A lot of us do a lot of talking on the cell phone and so on and distract ourselves and so on. So situational awareness is key, like I said, because that surprise attack, it is going to come. And you know, I find COVID to some extent, as bad as it was a blessing at that time, because what it allowed people to do is keep your distance. Because a lot of people who have to come to rob you, pick your wallet from your purse, snatch your chain from around your neck, they have to come within arm's reach of you. You with me?
Very
and the fact that people were very concerned about how close you come to me for the first time, it means that people in the line at the ATM, all of a sudden, we had no problem with people right up on us, seeing our PIN and observing our behavior.
That's a great observation.
Now with COVID, and I think some people still practice it, we want people to stand off, so we actually look at them in this kind of way to say, hey, step back. And the
or
thing
you
is,
yourself.
The thing is, if you could always operate where people will stay an arm's length around you in all directions, then they can't get close enough to you to grab, pull, and hurt you in that way.
Great.
So it's a sort of a consciousness you need to always have as well.
Be conscious of your surroundings. Use that natural instinct. Have that discerning spirit. Let's go to these important messages. When we return, we continue our conversation. I'll be opening up the telephone line if you may have any questions, any concerns. I'll share the WhatsApp number as well. So if you want to send your message rather than call, you're free to do so. I'll be happy to read. And of course, Mr. Carmichael will respond. Stay with us.
Before you choose a life of crime, know that the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago are fed up of you. More than 22,000 have already provided anonymous tips to Crime Stoppers, leading to countless arrests and convictions. You will never know who they are, but with Crime Stoppers' anonymous tipster system, everyone will soon know you. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously at 800 TIPS today.
On Saturday, 6th May, at the Center of Excellence, Mokoya, the Massive Tank Productions bring to you a night of memories with Abhijit. Abhijit, live in concert. For info, call 757-8265. General admission, $300. VIP, $500. Brought to you in part by Genspec, Extra Foods, Guardian Media, Cost Cutter Supermarket, Blue Waters, Playback Singer, Abhijit, live in concert. Saturday, 6th May, at the Center of Excellence, Mokoya. Powered by the Massive Tank.
Hi, I'm Senior Superintendent Michael Peer, and today I want to tell you about making yourself a hard target. You know, soft targets make easy targets. These vulnerable looking individuals are likely distracted or lost, or even not aware of what's taking place around them. Criminals seek out these individuals because they are less likely to react or defend themselves before the criminal can get away. In making yourself a hard target, remember these 4 principles. Increase your awareness of dangerous situations. Use intuition to assess the risk posed by people and situations you encounter. Avoid myths and denial that can cause you to let down your guard. Become a difficult target for criminals so they move on and leave you alone.
Visit Agri Savers Limited, number 19 Orange Grove Trace, St. Augustine, for all your agriculture, livestock, pet, agri-equipment, hydroponics, cannabis, fishing tackle supplies, and much more. Open Monday to Friday 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Contact 473-6074, 663-1094. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
I am Senior Superintendent Michael Peer.
Good day everyone, my name is Sajina Kadir, attorney at law.
And today we are here to speak of the Community Justice Clinic. an initiative under the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
The Community Justice Clinic is a collaborative initiative between the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service and a growing team of attorneys to provide free legal service to members of the public as it relates to matrimonial grievances, domestic violence, divorce, custody, access, maintenance, land, estate, and any non-criminal matters.
On the 29th of April 2023, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Community Justice Clinic will be launching Legal Access 10. On this day, 10 legal clinics will be conducted, one in each of the 10 policing divisions in Trinidad and Tobago. We will be at the Debe Hindu School, the Separia Community Center, the Presentation College Shogunas, the Orupun Police Youth Club, the Karanaj Police Youth Club, the St. Clair Police Youth Club, the Sandy Grande Police Youth Club, the Maloney Police Youth Club, the Mova Police Youth Club, and Shore Park Cultural Complex. This will be between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. on that date.
All members of the public can attend any of these locations. No registration is required. For further information, please contact 480-1421. Take advantage of the free service being offered on April 29, 2023.
Welcome back to the program Conversations with Zelisa, where we continue to inform, educate, empower, and answer those unanswered questions. I'm in conversation with Mr. Darrin Carmichael. He is a director at Crime Stoppers. He's here to share his wealth of knowledge when it comes to information about preventative measures when it comes to crime in our country. So pay attention. Share the messages with your family and friends. If you really care or you're really a good law-abiding citizen, you would understand the depth and importance of this show today, because it really is talking to each and every one of us to take responsibility when it comes to safety in our country. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you, yes.
So I know that, we started today, we're going to be talking, and every week we're going to develop the conversation when it comes to being preventative measures and crime that's happening in our country. So you gave some very valid points earlier on. We're going to continue. I want to remind all of our listeners and our viewers, you're welcome to call in. If you have a question or a concern, you're free to call in 3847-142, 3847-142. Please remember to take the volume down on your radio, on your television when you call. Please take the volume down before you call. You can speak directly to Mr. Carmichael and he will address your concern, or you can send me a WhatsApp message and I will read it and he will be happy to respond. So we get back to you talking to us about ways, preventative ways, things that we could do to be and to feel safer and to be safer as well.
So I mean, let's look at persons who travel, as a for instance, and that's another topic that we'll come into.
Okay.
We could develop on that some more.
All
so
right.
the travel in public is critical.
Right.
And of course, the persons who drive themselves as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there are also the surprise attacks that are taking place when you come to a standstill, when you're in a car park or so. The point I want to leave you with today is really, a lot of us, when we go to, like I am on this show now, I will have a tendency when I leave here, I wouldn't stay in the safety of this building necessarily, but I would tend to go in the car, sit down, and then look at the messages that I missed.
Right.
So you are in a vehicle, in your car park, in your work car park, which may be public, you may be on the street somewhere, or you may be in a taxi or something. And the point is, we have this tendency to focus now on messages on the phones and calls we've missed and so on.
Correct.
And you literally sit down, you're a sitting duck, in a vehicle, probably 7:30 at night or whenever it might be. And I see people go to the gym, and in the car park of these gyms, they're on the phone. You're seeing the bright shining light on them from the phone, and they're typing. Of course, you can't look at your phone and drive.
Right.
So a lot of us take the opportunity when we stop to do that. And I'm saying that, that is so much contrary or against the grain of good security.
Okay,
all right.
good.
So we want to
let's be
look at
mindful
that.
of
Yeah,
that.
That's a serious one.
So also be in a well when you park or where you if you're going to check, make sure it's and it's dark hours. It's a well lit area.
Yeah. Because there is no way you could be looking down at your phone and
be aware.
with your surroundings at the same time.
I totally agree
right?
with you.
So those are things that we would want to be cautious about. Very cautious.
Right.
And of course, persons moving towards your vehicle. I mean, I always impress upon people how to adjust your wing mirror, your side mirrors, and your rear view, so you could get a full, basically a 360 degree around your vehicle. All right, things like that you would want to also look at. There are many other things, but along the line of situational awareness, we really want to focus on you using those powers of observation.
Okay.
Anticipating something that is out of the ordinary or unusual, and taking some evasive steps. So for instance, if you are coming down the street and somebody is walking towards you, they look circumspect. Don't wait until they get upon you and then hope for the best. You know, it might be prudent to say, listen, let me take an evasive measure. And that could be simply cross the road. Right? So if you cross the road, you can kind of like anticipate whether that person meant to do harm, because their body language and everything will sort of like want to follow you. All right? So crossing the road could be a simple evasive step that would make you be, at least put yourself in a better position.
Okay.
It might mean stepping off the pavement into a place of safety, like a drugstore,
going into where people,
or somewhere where people are, until that potential threat passes.
Excellent.
But certainly at night and so on, you wouldn't even want to be on a lonely street if you can avoid it. All right?
What I've noticed, Mr. Carmichael, is a lot of people who perhaps sell their vehicles and things like that. And because they think, well, for safety, you're not going to let them come to your home, so you're going to ask them to be in a public car park or something like that. I personally think that's a no-no, and it's just
let me ask you a
bad.
question.
Why not go into the police station and do it in the...
But it gets worse, eh? Because if I'm buying a vehicle, I'm not going to buy cat and bag. So I would want to take it for a test drive.
Exactly.
And I would want to do the driving. You sit in the passenger seat, and who knows, right? So just the mere fact that you have to get out of the front and walk around to the passenger side, your car could disappear on you right there. Or you could be entering the vehicle and somebody who intends to do you harm. So the whole idea of selling a vehicle, I'm saying whether you're male or female, try to do it in a way that it is not putting you at any risk.
Correct.
Or putting you in any kind of great danger. And there are simple little things people sell. They sell cell phones, they do certain things and so on. And we're seeing more and more. The police have warned, I mean, every day they warn about that. Is the public listening? Are they thinking, well, the person sounds nice, they sound pretty decent, they say they're working in a bank, and they could tell you anything.
You could say anything,
Their Facebook profile could be anyway.
Exactly.
Right? But you will still be at risk. And this is what people need to understand. We're in a particular time now when you cannot take face value for granted.
Agreed.
There's hardly little opportunity for you to do checks in the manner that you really need to. So the whole idea is, I mean, you need to do or conduct these things in a very safe way. And the car park in a mall is not necessarily safe.
It's not. I don't think it is actually.
Because people, you know.
I remember during the times of COVID, when we first started wearing the mask, one of the things I was really very concerned about was the fact that a lot of people now, it was so much easier with that mask to go in any place and just hold up anybody.
That's right.
So,
and the guys go, they go full circle. I mean, if you see the mask and you see a hoodie and glasses, I mean those combinations are things, especially, I mean, now it's rainy season, so you'd expect to see people with raincoats and so on.
Correct.
But in the hot sun and broad daylight, sometimes you see these hoodies and so on. So it's pretty clear what might happen in that kind of scenario.
Great.
You know? So we have a lot of situations where people could take preventive action.
Exactly.
And like I say, our key is, if we do the things to prevent, we would of course take away the opportunity from the equation. And that would help limit the potential risk that we... So, I mean, nothing that we've talked about today speaks about depending on the police as yet. You realize that?
Right.
Because what this is all about is us doing the things that we can do, things that are in our control. Right?
Correct.
And all of the things that I've mentioned is well within our full control. All right? So if we have the lines are open as well, if you want to call in or send messages.
384-714. I got a message that this person, the moment the guest on your show went to school, that this person was your class friend.
Oh, okay.
And just being very proud to see you and what you're doing.
Okay, nice.
You know, it's nice to know that they could, you know, applaud you for your hard work.
I mean, the thing is, there are many people like us out there, like me out there, and we sometimes talk to a wall, and you're still seeing robberies, and it baffles us how we're still seeing the same things that are happening over and over again. So clearly, I'm saying to some extent that persons are not dialed in to what is really beneficial to them. A lot of people are on social media, they like and follow pages and so on.
When you talk about social media, one of the things, and I think during the COVID time, that is where it really grew by leaps and bounds, is we started purchasing things online. And then a lot of people would say, well, meet me XYZ and I'll deliver it.
That's good.
Be careful. These things are not safe.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's no way. I mean, it is the sign of the times. So one of the things I learned very early in my career is that security or security type things should not impede facilitation. So in other words, we shouldn't really put so much in place to prevent something that we cannot stifle in business or stifle in growth.
Right.
But there's a reality we need to face, and I keep saying that, you know,
there is a
we
truth
have
to
to
it,
do
correct.
things in a particular sense of moderation. We have to take risk and assess risk seriously before we act.
Yeah.
And going blindly to collect something or going blindly to sell something, it is not really the way to go.
You're correct.
What is the correct answer?
No, but
you know?
what you said there is extremely important. It's not just on the person who is doing the purchasing, but you as well when you are delivering all of the items and things that
because
you can easily get set up. And I think I heard of
they know that you're a delivery man.
Yes.
And they'll tell you, look, I want 2 of those cell phones.
Or bring, and
you will go hoping to sell 2 cell phones, and they take the entire van.
Take all your van,
you know, so the idea is it's a twofold thing.
It is.
And a lot of people have been set up like that, unfortunately.
Certainly. Let's go to these important messages. When we return, we continue our conversation about preventative measures when it comes to, you know, taking responsibility and you know, prevention is better than cure. Yes? When we return, stay with us.
Hello, Crime Stoppers?
This is Crime Stoppers. Please share only your crime information.
I want to report a crime, but I need to make sure it will not be traced back to me.
Caller, I assure you, there's no record of this call other than the information you give us and the tip number I assign you for you to call back and check on your reward. This system has worked in 26 countries for more than 40 years.
Help stop crime. Call Crime Stoppers at 800-TIPS today. Calls are safe and 100% anonymous.
Farbinja Expo has great deals to offer for the month of April. Get showers starting from $100, curtains 4 for $100, bed sheets 2 for $100, footwear from $75. Look elegant with our one-of-a-kind in-house designer garments. Spend $1,500 and over to get tickets to Bollywood singer Abhijit live in concert on May 6th. Just in time for Eid, new containers just arrived. Check us out for the latest Islamic wear. Need to pick up lunch or dinner? Then check us at the Farbinja Food Court from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Final few booths left at the Mid-Center Mall Mid-Year Flea Market. Call 340-6565 starting the 6th of May until the 30th of May. Call now to book your spot. 340-6565.
Super quality supermarket. Best quality and great prices. Get your fresh fruits, vegetables and meats. It's a one-stop shop for the most affordable groceries, baby items, kitchen supplies, bathroom accessories, car care supplies, pet food, toys and lots more, all at Super Quality Supermarket. Wide aisles, fully air-conditioned and secured parking. 3 locations nationwide: Hoover Car Park, Hoover, 98 Endeavour Road, Chagonas, and 47 Tissue Drive, Trincity. Super Quality Supermarket.
Thailand.
Tile Expression Limited, the #1 leader in tiles. Large stock, unbeatable prices, wide variety. Porcelain tiles, ceramic tiles, wall and floor tiles, residential and commercial, granite and quartz countertops. Best quality from Italy, Spain, India, Brazil and China. Conveniently located Monroe Road, Kunupir. Tile Expression Limited. Telephone 693-0015 223 Tile.
The Gandhi Memorial APS Vedic School Breezes Grand Bazaar, April 30th, 2023 from 12 noon to 6 p.m. Located in Aranguez Main Road. Come join us and have some fun. Lots of giveaways, games, cakes, candies, food stalls, haunted house, face painting, and much, much more. Come on down, bring the family. You don't want to miss it.
Welcome back to the program, Conversations with Zelisa, in conversation with Mr. Darrin Carmichael, who's a director at Crime Stoppers. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
This is our last segment for the program today. Of course, you'll be joining us next week with the grace and blessings of God. But, you know, I know this is an important segment because it's reminding people of their duty and responsibility, reminding people of the importance of Crime Stoppers. And and of course, we'll be sharing some important numbers as well. Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, I just want to kind of reiterate some of what we spoke about. You, the public, have a role to play by taking those very simple steps of securing your home, by being vigilant, by reporting suspicious activity, whether it's through Crime Stoppers or directly to the police, suspicious activity in and around your home, in and around your neighborhood. You are taking that step and so on to help secure your entire community. You're making your home and your environment safer. All right, so that's the role we play. But I wanted to touch on in this segment on, you know, what if something happens? Because as we speak today, as we finish, we can't wait until next week's session to talk about this.
Correct.
So I want to interject it now. So that in the event something happens, and how it happens is when you're not situationally aware, the criminal could have the upper hand on you. And we've seen far too many examples where business people, persons who are victim of home invasion and so on, they either attempted to confront the criminal, attempted to take actions into their own hand, and it was fatal. All right? So I want to remind you that should you encounter any sort of a violent attack, and I say violent attack because anybody coming into your home, in what is known as a home invasion, they are coming with the intent to violently confront the person in that house. It's not a burglar who doing it quietly. It's not a larceny where they're stealing it when you're not looking and so on. They are coming into your home with violence in mind or to confront you, face-to-face encounter. All right? And if that meets you with surprise, it means that they already have the upper hand. So please, I implore you to do as much as you can to get them in and out of there as quickly as possible. It might mean submitting your valuables, submitting the cash. They may very well have followed you from the bank and know that you have a significant amount of money hidden or secreted somewhere. Listen to me. All of those tangibles can be easily replaced. All right? Your life cannot. All right? So I'm asking you, please, to do as much as you can to get them in and out. Don't dwell and look at their faces so that they feel that you can identify them. Particularly some of them don't wear masks anymore. So as much as you cannot look at them, the better it is for you.
Away. That's a great point.
Submit yourself because, like I said, they already have the upper hand. The objective is to get them out as quickly as possible. So just say, look, please don't hurt us, don't harm us, be calm, be collective, and we
take what you want,
mind you, it sounds like you're telling people to give the bandits their way. But I'm saying that once you have not significantly prepared yourself and protected yourself from the actual invasion, and they're already there, then there's only so much you can do.
Because sometimes your first instinct
is to retaliate,
and say you ain't coming in my space and taking anything.
And so on,
and you see, these things will agitate them. And these things will probably get you killed faster than your innocent child or your children or whoever. So better you submit. I agree with you, you know.
Bear this in mind, and I have dealt with a couple of people in making arrests.
Yeah.
Some of these persons are charged up on marijuana. And some people may feel, okay, does marijuana have you charged up? Yeah, it does when you take Red Bull and all these energy drinks with it.
Yeah, because
right?
they have a rage.
Exactly.
Yes,
some of
you're
them
right.
are on cocaine and so on.
You're
And
very
you know,
correct.
So the point is, and bear in mind, they are also afraid. They are coming into the home agitated, afraid, and
let me just
very
get
concerned,
in there fast
right?
and get to take what I have to take and get out.
Their mood and temperament is not one way you want to anticipate how to deal with it.
Right.
So the easiest way is to do, like I said, submit, get them out of there. What you will do is, of course, you'll make good witnesses. So observe the clothing that they may have on, right? Observe the shoes. They may change the jersey, but they may not be able to take off the thing. A lot of them wear the pants that down to the butt.
Yeah.
Recognize the underwear, because the police will realize that this is the same underwear. The jersey may change when they break the corner and so on. And
if
of course,
see tattoos as well, or any marks,
the
scars,
gait, how they walk and so on.
Scars, things like that.
So you look at those things, and certainly for persons who are in the neighborhoods, we ask you as well to look out for these things, and you play a role as well to observe in your community. The vehicle is often parked around the corner, and it may not even be a stolen vehicle. It might be a genuine vehicle that the license plate matches and so on, right? So look for all these telltale signs.
That's a great
What
point.
I would ask you to do, though, is don't get up and try to leave immediately after the encounter, because you don't know who is looking around. You don't know if somebody may still be present and so on. So sometimes you have to stay where you are. If you're in a safe area, you know, you may lock yourself into the room while something else is happening around. Stay in there until probably the police arrive, or you recognize the voices around you also.
All right.
Right? Don't come out on you know, arbitrarily or so on, right? So there are a lot of things, and of course the important thing though is when you're making the report, the police may seem as though they are, like if you're calling in when something is happening, the police would ask you questions. Now mind you, while they're asking you about your name and your address and what is happening and a lot of things and directions, and it sounds like, hey, stop it and come now. You know, that's what some people think. But the police is asking you that, and while they're asking you that, somebody else is already dispatching the police to your location.
They're taking notes.
So it doesn't mean that the same person who is talking to you
Understood.
is necessarily dispatching the response, right?
So be calm.
So be calm, give as much information, because the police is going into an encounter and they want as much information as they can get from you.
Correct.
Right? And of course, our way of giving directions, you know, a fire officer last night at a function reiterated this. And you know, a lot of us have ways to give that, oh, by boy shop, turn right, and your right hand and my left hand, depending on what direction I'm coming from, is different. So we want a street address, you know, a specific street address.
Be specific as possible.
Right? You can give a landmark as well, that you can turn on the landmark in a particular way, but don't boy shop and as you mentioned, settlement. And all these things are terms that you locally would speak to. Right? So you give good directions. And of course, you facilitate as much as you can with the police, with the investigation, with giving statements, with being a good witness in court if need be.
Great.
Right? So then we could fulfill that obligation we have to make sure that we rid the country of crime.
Excellent.
Right?
We've got to wrap things up. It's that time. I want to thank you again for taking time off of your busy schedule to commit to helping Trinidad and Tobago. To help the citizens to be aware. I think the advice today was phenomenal. I myself, the tips, you know, we will now apply it. Things that you took for granted, let's not take it for granted. And let's have a safer. I really, again, look forward to you being here next week. And may God continue to protect you, keep you safe.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you next week.
My pleasure being here. Thank you very much.
This is where we've got to wrap things up. Remember to call Crime Stoppers. On our Facebook page, as well as on the radio Facebook page, U975 FM, all the relevant information will be there. Please respect the law of the land, be a good law-abiding citizen, you know, be kind and courteous, have yourselves an awesome day today. Let me quickly share Mr. Carmichael's number, and that's 312-2281. That's 312-2281. That is the number for Mr. Darrin Carmichael if you need him to come out into your community, into your area to get Crime Stoppers on board. Prevention is better than cure. Here's reminding you that with God, all things are possible. I am Zelisa Budusing Rupani. Thank you so much for choosing us.